Hello, Blitz fans of all ages, it's me, PlumCastle, here with a review on the AMX 1357. Now, this is a tank that does not come into the game very often. In fact, the last time it came into stores was about 2 years ago, from my understanding. Now, if you want to buy this tank on its own, it is 5,000 gold, which is a little bit much for a tier 7, but if you're a collector, definitely try to get it, because who knows when this tank will come out again. So let's talk about the stats real quick right before we jump into the replay. So it features a 6-shell autoloader, so very much a spam tank, if you get my drift. It, of course, with that many shells, does not have the greatest damage per shell, sitting at 90 for armor piercing and 75 for armor pierce or APCR. Now, its penetration is also a little bit lacking. It's only 160 on the AP rounds. However, on the APCR rounds, it is 220, which is definitely usable. Its reload between shells is about a second, and its clip reload is about 10 seconds. So, very interesting to say the least. Its damage per minute is sitting at about 2,300 when running vents. So it's not the highest, but it's also not terribly low. It's definitely higher than the AMX 1375, which is the Tech Tree Tier 7 French light tank. So let's check out the consumables I have, since, of course, this is an autoloader and there's no adrenaline. I put the speed boost and the 2 basic repair kits here. In terms of provisions, you don't really need to worry about that too much. I have 60 AP rounds and 30 APCR rounds, and for equipment, a lot of people actually suggest to run the vents on here as opposed to the calibrated shells, simply because of the reload and the fact that you are going to miss shells. Now, of course, for me, I would highly recommend getting the enhanced gun laying drive as well as the vertical stabilizer, as they decrease your aiming time by a little bit each time. And of course, engine boost, HP pool, it really depends on your playstyle, so do toy around with these things a little bit to get a feel for them. So with that, let's jump right into the replays. So this first replay is on Castile, and now me and USA is one. We're platooning in our AMX 1357s. So we were, of course, spamming these, and due to the fact that it's a 6-shell autoloader, we're just having an absolute blast in them. Now you can see here we just loaded into the game, and as we further load and get into position, let's talk about some of the quirks about the AMX 1357. Now, the thing with the clip is that it's actually got a very fast reload. In fact, it's only 10 seconds. You can see there the game is just started and I'm already reloaded. However, the shell interclip is what's a little bit of a problem. So you can see here it is about 1 second here, and the thing with that is, that means, because you have 6 shells, that it's going to take you about 5 seconds to unload the entire clip. Now, just ignore that little part there where I thought I could get up there but couldn't. But back to what I was saying, the 5 seconds that you have to wait make it a little bit hard. However, as you can see in the case with the Stritzwagen, especially when platooning, it just can be so annoying for the enemy team. You can see that we are absolutely ripping him apart. I mean, 45 seconds in and he's already dead. So, but like I was saying, the 5 seconds that you have to wait out in the open are a little bit hard. It just makes it a little bit difficult sometimes, especially when up against tank destroyers, especially SUs, as you can see right there. Now, I'm actually telling my platooner that I'm really worried about the SU right as a giant HE shell explodes right behind me. However, that does light him up, and so we are able to shoot into him. I get like 1 or 2 shots, maybe. I think I miss, actually. But US definitely gets some shots into him. Now, there is that Panther up there, which I unfortunately lose some HP to, and don't even get anything in return. However, that SU has lit himself back up again. My friendly SU kind of got in the way, but there you go. 1 shell, 2 shell, and, well, the rest of mine are misses. However, due to the fact that my reload is so quick, I can just hit the R button on my, or C for any PC user, and just reload. And you can see it reloads so quick. Now, the reload, like I said on the clip, is very nice. I do think that that is a very nice thing to have, just to reload your thing so quickly. However, like I said, the interclip is what makes it a little bit hard because you have to be stuck out there for so long. Now, there is that panther that we saw earlier, and I'm coming up on him, and he's gone thanks to one shell. I was a little bit foolish here and lose a lot of my HP to that IS. However, what I've decided to do is just come around here. Now, I have used one shell. I don't go for a full reload because I don't feel like I need to at the moment. And there is that tiger down there. A little bit of an unlucky bounce, but you can see I'm just spamming into his side there. And I do go for the reload here just because one shell left. There's no point in poking out with just one shell. I mean, it's kind of pointless if you know what I mean. So there is the SU is about to get spotted. However, you can see between the two buildings. Oh, there he is. I forgot I had actually gotten some shots into him. Like I said, I don't really want to play too aggressively with him because of how low HP I am. Even if he wasn't to shoot HE, he would likely kill me. In fact, I'm positive he would kill me. There's a crack between the buildings. Unfortunately, I was not in the right position to get some shots in there. However, not too much to worry. Don't really want to play with the IS. Thankfully, he misses. Unfortunately, I do too. There is the Tiger 1, who I miss once, get a very lucky shot into, and then I'm surprised I didn't get that shot into. However, I believe US, okay, so it wasn't US who cleared him. However, he does get cleared, thus meaning I can start to push around over here. Now, I believe US is about to clear the SU-152. You can see he's about to shoot him, and there goes US with the kill on the SU. Now, I start to shoot the hatch on the IS. Now, that was a lucky bounce I just got there. That's not very often common. So, there we go, US getting the last kill. Now, US actually had a very solid game. I mean, sure, I had 1,500, but just look. He had 3,000 plus damage in that game. That was just absolutely phenomenal. So, with that, let's now move on to the second replay I have here. Now, the second replay I have is on Dynasty's Pearl. Again, me and US were platooning in our AMX 1357s. Now, the nice, or rather the funny thing with platooning in these tanks is since you have about 500-ish average damage in your clip, you can do about 1,000 damage if you both penetrate all your shells and even maybe one or two misses. And since you are fast, you are often close together. It's just a super annoying thing to do to enemies. It's both annoying to just be one of these tanks absolutely shooting and spamming shells into the enemy tanks. However, being a platoon, it just makes it a lot funner. Now, one thing I do want to talk about whether or not I think it's worth getting, it depends. If you are a collector, hands down, these things come out very rarely. If you're someone looking for a tank to just have fun, don't care about stats, and just absolute spam, yes, it's a very good tank, and I do think it is fairly worth it. In my opinion, of course, other people may have different opinions. However, if you are looking for a tank to grind your stats in, you see this AMX, you see it's got 6 shells, and you think, oh, I can be super annoying and do all this cool, super overpowered stuff in it. No, it's very much a silly person's tank, or very much a tank you do just for fun. It is not a stat tank. Now, you saw on the enemy tank there, on the enemy team, there was an AMX 1375. I'm running the 57, which is a very different tank, well, semi-different tank. So the thing is, the difference between the AMX 1375 versus the 57 is the the AMX 75 has slightly worse DPM and slightly worse penetration. They're just slightly different tank styles. Of course, they are both French tanks, so they are both going to have that light armor and are going to be very quick. However, the 6 shells are a very interesting playstyle because you do have to be exposed for a little bit longer than you would with your normal 1375. Now, I believe I go for the reload here, and yes, I do, because, like I said, with that fast clip, I can just reload, and it doesn't take too long, and I go after this Mark III. Now, I'm not even really going to care about the AMX that's trying to shoot me. I just fix my tracks right here, and I go continue on with my push against that Mark III. Mark VI would be terrible to run across in Tier 7. Now, you can see here, I unloaded the 2 shells. I don't actually get any more. In fact, the IS actually saves me there, because if he had not, I would have likely died to that Mark III. So there you go, guys. That is my review on the AMX 1357. Hope this was helpful. Hope y'all learned something. Hope y'all enjoyed. And as always, have fun, good luck, and happy tanking.